3,000 people have U.S. citizenship in the town.
Israel themselves said they went through 20% of their interceptors in the 12-day war, which means they would have blown through all of them if the war lasted 60 days. No, it wouldn't have taken 60 days. Israel is lying when they say they went through 20% of their interceptors. The reason why it lasted 12 days is because America, with its unlimited backing, seemingly did not have unlimited backing. Here, new war with Iran is bleeding Israel's economy. Israel's 12-day war with Iran has cost billions, according to a report by Anadolu Agency, which is like the Associated Press for Turkey. They report the war's first week alone cost $5 billion, with daily expenses reaching $725 million. Most of that, $593 million, was used for offensive strikes, while $132 million went to air defense and military mobilization on the daily. Wall Street Journal reported that daily cost of missile defense systems range from 10 to 200 million. That is just on the Israeli side. That is without America, without factoring in Jordanian support, American support, Western support in general. Had the conflict lasted a month, the total cost would have topped $12 billion, the Aaron Institute estimated. Palestinian finance expert Nasser Abdul Karim warns that indirect costs could have raised the total to $20 billion, factoring in lost productivity and evacuations. Iran strikes shut down Israel's largest oil refinery, halted flights at Ben Gurion Airport, and disrupted the diamond sector, triggering investor panic and fueling instability in Israel's financial markets. The Israeli Ministry of Finance has requested an additional $857 million for the Ministry of Defense to fund war-related expenses like reservist pay and mobilization. At the same time, it proposed cutting $200 million from health, education, and social services to help fund the deficit, which, by the way, smoking on that Israeli healthcare pack, no disrespect, but like you get to experience a little bit of that sweet, sweet American austerity. Okay? This is why, if Iran had continued, it would have literally collapsed the Israeli economy. Because the Israeli economy, as I explained, relies on Israel being an untouchable, impenetrable fortress, no matter how fucking aggressive and violent and belligerent it gets. This is why I also said Israel reacts differently to force. Military deterrence is the only thing, military deterrence, military intervention, and military deterrence is the only thing Israel responds positively to. That's it. And also, Netanyahu is coming back and will visit the White House next Monday as Trump presses for a ceasefire in Gaza. Trump on Friday told reporters that we think within the next week we are going to get a ceasefire in Gaza, but didn't offer any further explanation for his optimism. Trump has also signaled that he wants, and this is another thing that I fucking called, early heads will remember. I said this even during the election season, but certainly after, that Trump is going to try to create a scheme in exchange for the ceasefire. He will design a scheme where Benjamin Netanyahu will get away scot-free and will be free of prosecution in the aftermath of the ceasefire. So, and he openly has said that, for the record. He has like tweeted it out or truthed it out. Oh, meanwhile, the U.S. State Department today approved $510 million in weapon sales to Israel, including JDAM guidance kits for its bombs, which includes 3,845 KMU 55 8B kits for BLU 109 bombs, 3,280 KMU 572 FB kits for Mark 82 bombs. Don't know why they would be replenishing their depleted sources while simultaneously claiming that they want a fucking ceasefire. But I guess it's much tinier than previous weapons transfers. So I guess that spells something positive. After Israel hit Iran's South Pars refinery, Iran struck the Bazan refinery in Tel Aviv, which supplied 60% of Israel's diesel and 48% of its gasoline in Q1 2025. Bazan is just now saying operations are gradually resuming, with full recovery expected by October. Haifa oil refinery was shut down, as you guys know, with Iranian rockets. Now we get back to the United States of America. Oh, last thing I'm going to say about this. Whatever you make of this and wherever it may be going, I think we have to agree on one simple fact. The toothpaste is fully out of the tube here, and the mail cannot push it back in with any amount of body snatcher style pointing and screeching. Furious Glastonbury crowd chants death to IDF and Free Palestine, and scenes aired live. Oh, there's the other thing. I think this village was Christian too. Not that it matters. It's just, they're Palestinian.
They're going to fire with what?
The entire killing zone here overlooked by Israeli military surveillance. They have not produced any evidence to back their claim that they were fired on by villagers.
After everything that went on in this village, it is perhaps the cold statistics which speak most eloquently. We have 4 Palestinians shot dead by the army, several more injured, and we have 5 Israeli settlers arrested by the army, handed over to the police, who then released them without charge.
Oh!
And as we film, an Israeli military convoy passes on the road the settlers had used to attack Kafir Malik. The Israeli settlements clearly visible across the valley here. But Wednesday was not the only attack here in just the past week. Here lies 13-year-old Amar Hemail, already an internationally acclaimed Muay Thai boxer. He was tending the olive grove a week ago. The Israeli army sniper's bullet entered his back, exited his throat. A delegation of diplomats rolled into Kafir Malik this afternoon.
What is happening here are massacres, elimination of people.
Wasn't he American as well? The 13-year-old? I think he was from Chicago too, right? Yeah. Interesting that no one seems to mention that. Yeah.
Yet another West Bank village, yet another settler attack, and yet another chance to understand. But the writing's on the wall. David Levy, it says, the attacking settlers so confident they wrote names here.
On the BBC. Felix says, was just talking to someone about this. There's no partisan or cultural counterweight for hundreds of millions of people seeing thousands of the worst images they've ever seen, and then hearing almost every prominent figure in Western politics say, this is fake and I love it. The toothpaste was out of the tube when people were taught that genocide is wrong. Okay? You shouldn't have done that for decades after the Holocaust took place, that the Holocaust was an unconscionable evil thing. Because if you do that, eventually people are going to realize we're watching one unfold. Okay? Because no one, and I mean no one, is going to look at the situation and go, oh, never again meant just for the Jews. No, of course no one fucking feels that way. That's not true. It's also not a true statement to begin with. Never again means never again. Not never again just for the Jews, and that Israel gets to do whatever the fuck it wants. Clearly, even Jews that don't live in Israel are already decoupling from Israel in more meaningful ways as well. So if they didn't get the message and they got inundated with propaganda from the start, then it's very difficult to teach like some fucking corn-chucking Nebraskan that these are, God's special children that get to do genocide and we have to keep giving them money. They're not going to see that. All they're going to see is children being fucking annihilated with our tax dollars, and then every single fucking Western media figure and every single politician turning around and saying, don't feel some type of way about this. Otherwise, I will turn around and say you're anti-Semitic, and I'll actually arrest people. I'll actually throw people in jail. When that happens, what is that person supposed to think? What is the corn shucker in Iowa or Nebraska or Idaho supposed to think? He's going to be like, holy fuck, I heard about this stuff that like Jews control the media. Now I'm seeing it. Okay? That's the only thing that Israel is doing at this point, is just creating tremendous resentment, not against just Israel, which already is over, but also against Jews as well. Yeah, he did say if he doesn't get to pick and choose which Jewish people he talks to. Greenblatt argued that unless Mamdani engages directly with the Anti-Defamation League, he won't truly address Jewish concerns. Yeah, that's what his demand is. Come and kiss the ring. Anyway. Now let's get to the firefighter ambush in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is a famous location for actual anti-Semitism, not like the fucking fake, like, oh, I don't like Israel conversation. Was the head of operation for Atomwaffen. I mean, it's like a fucking neo-Nazi, white supremacist, white nationalist breeding ground.
Breaking developments, Idaho authorities have identified the shooter accused of ambush.
Yeah, I live in Idaho and I've been to Coeur d'Alene, and there are literal Nazis, like proud Nazis with swastika flags. Yeah. I'm not saying like, oh, they're Nazis because they're like fascist Republicans or racist. I'm saying like actual fucking straight up swastika wearing Nazis.
And killing those two firefighters in the mountains by Coeur d'Alene on Sunday. A third firefighter who was also shot is now fighting for his life after surgery. The local sheriff says they believe that the shooter, who was later found dead, set a brush fire to lure the crew to the site and then opened fire on them. Here's dispatch audio as the attack unfolded.
Some law enforcement right now, there's an active shooter zone. They're shot. BC3's down, BC1's down. Everybody's shot up here. Law enforcement, code 3 now up here.
CNN's Mark Morales is here now with breaking details on this. Mark, what are you learning about the suspect?
Well, Brianna, we now know who law enforcement thinks did this shooting, and they've identified Wes Raleigh, 20 years old. He's from the Idaho area. And as you know, the identification in this kind of a situation is very, very important, because now investigators can take that full court press and really try to figure out what the motive here was. They could do search warrants on his home or places of business.
I mean, my instant speculation when I heard where this happened was that, oh, this is 100% not like an Iranian sleeper cell or anything like that the media can fucking even present. And very much the type of person that does engage in the anti-Semitic violence, the fucking neo-Nazis. But it turns out, and I thought initially, there's no way that this is like a fucking 20-year-old, given where this happened and the significance of the area. I thought it wouldn't be like a 20-year-old, but like a 45-year-old, you know, former military, because that's usually the profile of this type of activity. This is like old school white supremacist, Aryan nation type activity. Turns out it is a 20-year-old.
business, or they could even talk to loved ones, people that he knew, anything that can help them really dig into why he did this. Now, law enforcement was able to...
The reason why I want this question, because...
Or scroll that it's all about revenge. They seem to know they can do it and get away with it.
How the fuck are we going to fix this? Generational propaganda madness? What do you mean? By force. First by trade, and then by force. There's no other way. People will respond. People will react. But yeah, there's nothing else to do here. The morality of the situation is clear. People have an endless capacity to adapt to their surroundings. Okay? And the settlers are the least likely to actually adapt. So they will probably react in a violent way, and they'll have to be dealt with through the criminal justice system. But yeah. The difference between what's going on here versus what happened in Nazi Germany is that it doesn't require military intervention, ironically enough. That's what makes it even more damning, our involvement. Because we could literally stop this with one fucking phone call. Can you force them if they have nukes? Yes, dude. Yes, you can force them if they have nukes. What are you talking about? It's Israel, dude. Israel doesn't exist without America. Please stop. Israel as a nation state does not fucking exist without the United States of America. Like, Israel is even more dependent on constant American help and support than South Africa did at the time. And they had fucking nukes too. Yeah. CBS said he had Chicago ties, a 13-year-old.
Family of a Palestinian boy with ties to Chicago.
He's an American citizen.
Say he was gunned down by Israeli Defense Forces this week.
They tell
Ties to Chicago. What do you mean? The fuck does that mean? He likes the Cubs? Like, what are we talking about? Bullshit.
Malik is affluent. Millionaires commonplace here.